Welcome, everybody, to the Just Add Bourbon podcast. I'm Jimmy Don Kerr.
And I'm J.D.
And it is another beautiful Sunday evening here in the hills of Eastern Kentucky. JD and I got a fun show planned for you guys today. But before we jump into all those topics, my brother, how you doing today?
Man, I'm cool. I'm just hanging out, just enjoying my Sunday. Took a big nap earlier, and I don't even know. I think it's a little bit cool outside, so I've just been chilling inside all day, just straight lounging on the couch.
Did you get anything good this weekend?
Oh man, so it's the first weekend I haven't traveled or had any big shows going on or nothing in a minute. So I'm just been kind of really just kick back and enjoying it. I had to take my son to a birthday party yesterday and go pick him up over Paintsville, and so I went to Lowe's and got me some flowers. I spent like $70 on flowers, bro.
Flowers? What for?
Because I like flowers, man.
To decorate like at your house, to plant flowers. Okay, I'm with you.
And
I'm not gonna make
you let me like that, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing buying flowers, dog? For what?
No, to look at. I like flowers, man. And I got me hydrangea, and I can't remember what else I got. But I bought like $70 worth of flowers. Helly had a doubleheader yesterday at the softball field, and did that. Came home and just hung out, man. And I kicked back yesterday evening and finished up a book I've been reading for a little bit. And The Kite Runner, I highly recommend it. It was recommended to me by Andre Ray Bloomfield. It's fiction, which I don't read a lot of. You read mainly nonfiction, but really dug the book. It was really, really good. It's about an Afghan guy who was raised in Afghanistan and the trials and tribulations he faced. It was really, really, really good.
Cool.
What about you?
Guys, I didn't do anything, dog, and it was great. If flower prices are like lumber, that's only 2 flowers, right, Harrison?
3.
3 flowers.
3 flowers.
No joke.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Lumber prices are insane right now, dude. Everything's so expensive. I said it's just crazy. But I didn't do anything. And guys, just real quick, if you're watching, make sure you comment. JD and I will try to answer your questions. If you've got anything, got a topic you want us to talk about, we'll jump all over that. Or just comment on what we're talking about, or make fun of JD. That's fine too. I don't care. I didn't do anything, man. Like, for legit, we've traveled every weekend for like 2 months, and it's the first weekend that we have been home. And I mean, like, no joke. I came in Friday. We went out and ate a little dinner, and then I come back, dude, and I passed out on the couch, like legit fell asleep. And then Saturday got up, did the small town collectible stuff, recorded some videos, did an interview, 10 questions interview that I do for that channel, and read some comic books and Addison, and then went out to the movies. Her and her friends are getting that age where they want to crew up and go to the movies. That was Friday. And went down and did that. And then, like I said, brother, outside of that, my family was in. Kristen and her husband Billy were home this weekend, so I went over to Aunt Rita's and saw them. And so really, I've done nothing, and it's been glorious. I mean, glorious.
I think I seen Ashton yesterday, didn't I?
Yeah, she was at the ball field. Haley stayed up here Friday night. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
Because, and I just want to know where you're at on this.
Oh, God, here we go.
So
I don't know what this is, but I know it ain't going to be good.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it won't be anything, but I'm just interested. It says dad to dad.
Okay.
So our girls are 15 now, right?
Yeah.
And, some of their friends have license. They're wanting to go hang out. So Friday night, Haley comes here, and they go out to town and ride around with a couple of boys. Then yesterday,
I don't like it. That's my stance. I don't like it.
Yeah, they go with one of their friends that can drive and go down to Fallsburg to the campground to a party. And then they come back and stay all night. So my question to you is this. Like, it has smothered me out, brother. Like, smothered me out.
Right.
That Ashton is, like, they came up today. Haley came up today, and they went down to the community center and hung out for a while in the parking lot. Like, I'm not ready for Ashton to be out hanging out, driving around town, doing all those things.
So, yeah, man, it's a tough one. Like, I'm not a fan of my little girl growing up at all, but I also know that you can't stop time,
Yeah, it is what it is. I get it. But, man, it was really bothered me.
But no, like, on the reverse of that, though, man, I've seen the kids that And I'm sure you've seen the same exact thing. Kids didn't get to do anything in high school, locked in their houses. And what happened when they get out to college?
Oh, go nuts.
They're
100%. Mine's low jacked for sure. She don't know, but unless she watches this, she'll know. But she's 100% low jacked.
I don't know what that is.
Basically, I know where she's at all times. I've got the app on her phone to where I know exactly where she is.
Yeah. See, I didn't know. I'm that out of touch. See, that's where you got to step in and help me.
Well, that's why we're talking about it on here. I thought I'd bring it up and see where we were at. Maybe there's something that I don't. So.
Yeah, but I mean, even that though, man. Like at some point, man, you got to trust your kids. I think we both got good girls. I think we got good kids. I mean, they got to make the right decisions. I mean, it sucks, but that's just what it is.
It really is, Don. I mean, it is scary. Like, and it's just new. And like the kid that she's going, that the girls that she goes and hangs out with are fine. They're good kids. It's Haley and Aaliyah usually, and Addison, and JD knows the crew. So yeah. I mean, it's generally the same people, but it's just them growing up is scary. Yeah, Life 360. That's what you're looking for, JD.
Yeah, because I can keep tabs on Haley. I'll save my life.
Yeah, and Harrison's right too. Smartphones, it's pretty easy. There's all kinds of apps. Find My iPhone. You can do all kinds of stuff like that. There's all kinds of ways to keep track.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So let's play. Let me play the devil's advocate. Okay,
bring it on.
Like when you was 15, what was you out doing? I know, could your parents trust you at all?
No.
If you had a smartphone, if your mom had all those apps on your phone, I bet you'd find a way around it.
Oh, 100% would have.
I just feel like, man, like at some point, as hard as it is, at some point, we have to let our kids be kids, man. Let them go out and do the things they're going to do and make the mistakes and deal with the consequences, man. I hope they make good decisions. I don't know.
Speak to me with common sense and reason. I don't need common sense and reason. That's not what I'm looking for. No, it makes me feel a little better so that if I do need to check in, just to make sure I can check in real quick and say, okay, she's in town. It gives me a little bit of peace of mind. But it's really scary. Like the other night, she was like, and it's already started, right? Her and Haley went out and she said, well, what time do we have to be home? And I said, well, 11. She said, well, it's 9 o'clock already. Let's just, can it be 11:30? And I was like, no, but what time do they come home? Because they asked their mommy, Ashton asked her mommy, and she said, yeah, 11:30. So at 11 o'clock, I'm texting Ashton going like, where are you at? Where are you? And I thought I told you to be home at 11. And she's like, oh, no, Mom said 11:30. She said, but I'll come home right now if you want me to. I said, no, if your mom said 11:30, go on.
Fine. So I'm in a weird situation, man. I'm divorced, come from a broken home, man. My kids are in a broken home. So a lot of times I don't even know Haley's out, just to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a fact. I try to do a good job as a dad and stay in touch with my kids and what's going on with them, but it's just hard, man, not knowing sometimes. There's a wreck the other day, was it last week or week before last? And for 30 minutes, I was a mess trying to find where my kids were. And of course, I pay for my kids' cell phones. Do they answer their phones?
No, of course not.
Of course not. And it makes me want to. It makes me upset. It makes me upset. But I didn't understand the worry I put my parents through. And my kids, Chase is 19, and he's not the knucklehead that I was at 19. I can tell you that.
Right.
So like to know that the worry that my kids put me through and the worry that I put my mom through, like it's a different thing, man. But I don't know, man. You guys gotta just do the best you can, brother. I don't know what to say. I wish there's a good answer, but
my old man used to tell me it's funny that you said that, because when I had Ashton, the first thing I did was apologize to my parents. And they were like, what are you apologizing for? I said, I had no idea, because I was an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a moron. I mean, just an idiot. And I still have my moments, but it's, I was an idiot. And I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't know how much you worry, how much you love, like I didn't understand that love. So it's, like it's different now. So I apologize to my parents first thing. But I think, Donna said, and she's agreeing with you, and I think she's right. You just got to know your kids and their friends. Trust them, and Dad always.
No! You ain't jumping over that one.
And Jason Dameron is right. Forgive
I like
me.
how you just jumped over that, bro.
Listen, I don't like to claim you're right about anything. But no, Dad used to say, look, you do your best to teach them right from wrong, and then hope like hell they live through their 20s. He said, that's just, he said, that's all you can do. And,
But it's
and
much
so,
easier said than done, too, though, right? Like, I mean,
yeah.
that's real easy to say, but man.
Yeah, it's tough, man. So yeah, no, but I thought we would talk about it. Just came to my mind, like, and it was mine and your daughter were actually together, and I was
Yeah.
like, woosah, woosah. I was just, I don't know. It's been a little bit of a struggle for me. Now Addison's starting to grow up too, and that's my baby.
Right. That's weird, man. My son, like Cole, he don't care about doing nothing. He went to the little girl's birthday party yesterday, and they had lunch or whatever, 123 Cafe in Paintsville. And I went and picked him up, and that was it. Like he don't, I don't know. He just ain't social like that, which is fine with me.
A for effort, Jimmy. Yeah, right. No, it is what it is. But no, I just thought that would be interesting to chat about for a second. Do I look really dark to you?
Yeah, you do.
That's weird. I don't know why that is. Now
I think that's like darker, bro.
Is that worse?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. But anyway, all right. So what we're going to do today, JD and I got one real topic that we're going to discuss, which is something I just wanted to ask him about. And then we have a basket full of topics, which are random topics that JD's came up with. And he's just going to reach in and pull one out, and then we'll go from there. So let's see here. JD, all right, so I got a text the other day, and it was a Instagram post. And here's what it said. It's basically a comparison between Trump and Biden.
Sure.
And here's what it says. Trump, record low gas prices, energy independent, peace deals in the Middle East, border secure, record-setting jobs. Biden, gas prices doubled, gas shortage, Middle East back at war, border crisis, and an inflation crisis. He's only been there for 4 months.
Right.
So let's start with the first one. Record low gas prices versus gas prices doubled.
Sure. So, I mean, that's true. I mean, Trump did a real good job with the gas. He was also in the office at the right time. The Saudis and the Russians were in a major squabble almost the whole time Trump was in office. And those are the people who control the gas prices. The president is many times like the quarterback of a football team. And we've said this even when Trump was in office. I know I've said this on this show plenty of times. Sometimes they get too much blame and too much credit. And I think with the gas prices, that's always the case. I mean, I can't think of anything that Trump did that directly affected gas prices. But the Russians and the Saudi Arabians being in a feuding war with each other, really Trump benefited from that. And the second part of that, the gas prices haven't doubled. They're not even up $1 yet. So
no, they haven't doubled. And like I said, that was silly. I thought that part was silly. Okay, so I think, and it kind of goes along with energy independent, is we were producing our own oil, right? We were one of the biggest producers of oil, and what is gas made from?
Well, we still are. We've been actually energy independent since 2014,
right?
And we're still producing that. And what happened? Only thing that's happened since Biden has been in office is they put a temporary moratorium on exploration. So people are still producing oil, still people are producing gas, and everybody that's telling you anything different don't have the facts. So we're still producing. We're still energy independent.
So why are gas prices going up in your opinion?
Because it's cyber attack and people panic.
Oh, no. The cyber attack was just now. What has happened since Biden's been president?
Oh, so what happened was springtime, and we're allowed to go out and do things now, and people are ready to go do things, and they're out buying gas. It's supply and demand. It's capitalism.
I don't disagree with that. I actually don't disagree with that. I think a lot of it is supply and demand. That is generally with gas. What you'll see is, if we are cut off, but we should have control over, what we're doing because we do produce energy. So I'm with you there. Like we can find common ground there. Energy independent. I think that kind of goes to, they're talking about gas shortage, but that, again, I don't necessarily agree with that because the gas shortage happened because of a hack and people started freaking out.
Yeah, and it's crazy to see these people getting online going, I can't believe Biden just caused this gas price to go up. I'm going to fill up every flipping thing. I mean, so the pictures I've seen on social media, people filling up things, I mean, it makes my blood curdle. It makes me irate. The stupidity of people, the not caring about what everybody else does. Like, I'm going to just take all I can take. And there was no shortage. There wasn't a shortage. There never was a shortage. The only thing that happened was people panicked. And now that whole thing's over with, as far as I know, right? The cyber attack has now been dealt with, and they're back to pumping gas.
Yeah, no, again, that's something I do as far as like the natural gas, shutting the Keystone Pipeline down, doing some of those things, the jobs. I didn't necessarily agree with doing that right away. I felt like there was a way to kind of delay that out. But as far as truly being energy independent, I think we still are, and I don't think gas shortage is fair because it really, literally, there was a hack. Now, if you want to argue that our cybersecurity should be better, that's not on necessarily Biden either. It's not on Trump either, but that's something that Homeland Security has got to get on.
But we're talking about independent company, right? We're talking about people who have to provide their own security, their own cybersecurity. So, I mean, we got to take all these things into account. And we talk about, green versus fossil fuels. Being more green energy would make us more independent because these things wouldn't happen. You couldn't do these things with green energy. And so it makes us more independent, not less.
So, okay, that makes sense in one way. But all right, so if you go green, especially, and we're talking about gas.
Sure.
So if you go green, that means electric cars, right?
Sure.
So where does that electricity come from?
Well, it has to be produced, obviously. Yeah, I mean, they're still going to have fossil fuels, but we're talking about significantly reducing. We're not talking about eliminating. We're talking about a minuscule percentage compared to what we have now.
Right. So I think you and I can agree on the energy independence. I think it's a lot to do about nothing. And Joe Hammond made a good point here and he's right. There are a lot of delayed signifiers between administrations. The price of oil has went back up. Right. And that's not necessarily on Biden.
No, it's because the Saudis and the Russians were
exactly. And I think there is, I think that same, if Trump had won re-election, I think you'd have seen something similar. Mm-hmm. Gas prices just would have went up. Trump, you're right. Trump was the beneficiary of really good timing when it came to that market. I agree with that 100%. All right. Now, so next thing, Trump did broker a lot of peace deals in the Middle East. That's true. And under Trump, there were no wars, no new wars under Trump. We agree on that?
Yeah. So what is funny about it, though, is like every time Trump bartered a peace agreement in the Middle East, it was always between people who weren't at war. They were never at war. It was always people who haven't been at war for years and years. It wasn't like the Palestinians and the Israelites decided under Trump they weren't going to fight anymore. They have always fought. They're always going to fight. But the problem was Trump was grabbing headlines and nobody cared about it, man. This has always been going on. It's been going on the last 5 years.
But it didn't go on. It didn't go on under his presidency.
The Israelites and the Palestinians didn't fight, or we didn't hear about it.
It's possible we didn't hear about it. I mean, that's possible.
Yeah,
but the thing is, I imagine if they would have been fighting, we would have 100% heard about it because the media wanted to do anything they could to bash Trump. So as far as like the fact, I'm just saying, we're just laying out facts here. Mm-hmm. While Trump was president, there was no wars in the Middle East. Biden's been president for 4 months, and I would have almost guaranteed that somebody would have been at war. And now you've got the Israelis and the Palestinians going at it.
I think they've always been at it. I don't think that's new. We didn't hear about it because I just think everybody was so, and this, who was everybody focused on for 4 years?
Trump.
Absolutely. And I think that.
But I think
because it wasn't headline worthy because, this ain't really a war that started, right? These guys are having some conflict, but we can't say they're at war, or that's a new war, right?
Oh no, this is new for sure because they're dropping bombs all over the place. They are flying people in. They've been shooting 50 rockets at a time at Israel, trying to get something through their defense system. They're all out and more right now.
So, explain to me what Biden did to influence that, or not make it happen, or what Trump did to not make it happen.
Well, the thing that I've always seen, and a lot of the stuff that I've read,
Sure.
is that the reason that there was always problems in the Middle East is because everybody always went through the same old channels, right? To negotiate. There were just certain people that you went to and you did, these things and you negotiated over there and they never could work anything out. Well, Trump didn't deal with the people who had always been dealt with. He went around them, under them, through them, and got the right people together to negotiate. Therefore, Trump moved the embassy right to Jerusalem. That had been said that he was, and the Palestinians didn't like that at all.
He did. That's right. That's true. Absolutely.
And there was no war, so he did something to keep that from occurring. And then, as soon as Biden's president, 4 months in, they're back at. I'm just saying. I don't know why or what, but the facts are facts.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So, I guess I get to the point of, like, what is our role between the Palestinians and Israelites? Are we the world's police, or are we not? Because I don't feel like we are.
But I don't think we should be.
I feel like sometimes there's times we do need to step in where certain humanitarian rights are being taken away, or people are being, genocide or things of that nature, apartheid, like South Africa. But, I'm not sure that we even belong in the Israel-Palestinian conflict at all. And, we had a big hand in creating it, the Palestinian-Israeli conflict.
Yeah.
That goes back to the 1940s.
And I do want to touch base here real quick with Joe. Solar, wind, geothermal. And, Joe, you're right about those things, but solar doesn't work here in Eastern Kentucky. It may work in other places, but it does not. We checked with the community center to see if we could put solar panels on, and we did not rate enough sunlight to truly use solar. Wind, we don't have a ton of wind. Water is possible, and geothermal is so expensive to do that it's not really feasible. And so I don't think you're wrong. And you are right about this. War in the Middle East is old enough to buy beer, and you're absolutely right. But under Trump, there were no wars. So I'm just saying, top, it doesn't matter. On top of strip jobs, possibly, Joe, that may be possible. I know that's being looked into right now. All right, so let's go.
Let me make one last point about the clean energy. I mean, just because we don't have the technology right now doesn't mean we can't work toward it, and we shouldn't.
Sure.
I mean, those are things that move us forward as a country and as a nation. And
I don't disagree.
So to say, I mean, that Martin County ain't ready for that right now, that doesn't mean we should just throw our hands up and walk away. We should be investing in those things. Those things are important going forward because there's only so much coal left. There's only so much oil left. And one day those things are going to run out, and we only got one planet. We need to take care of it.
No, and like I said, I don't necessarily disagree with that. I hate that when people say that. I love you, but I hate it when people say we only got one planet. Let's take care of it. The United States produces a quarter of the world's emissions. Mm-hmm. And, we're way ahead on that. And the problem I've always had is not the green energy. I think green energy is actually the future. I think that's the future of our economy. But we don't have all the technology we need to move in that direction yet. We need to move in that direction while not putting everybody out of work. I agree with that. And that's my biggest issue with that. So, all right, next one.
But let me, before.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Even when we talked about the Keystone Pipeline, man, if we put the Keystone Pipeline, we're still putting people out of work. We recognize that right now they're shipping oil from Canada is how they're shipping it to the freight. And if we put a pipeline in, we're putting thousands and thousands of truck drivers out of work. Mm-hmm. So it's not like where we just didn't create any jobs, or we didn't save some jobs. We saved jobs by stopping that pipeline too.
I don't agree with that because those truck drivers will move on to a different field and drive a truck.
Well, that's like the same. That's almost the same exact thing as they said about those guys that they'll find some other job. They'll find somebody else to work. It's almost the same exact thing that was said about the pipeline workers. They'll find somewhere else to work. The
difference is that their job is very specific as a pipeliner. There's not a ton on a lot of those jobs out there if you take that industry away. Truck driving, there's thousands of truck driving jobs out there that other people can fill.
But there's people filling those jobs now, and they lose those jobs if they go away.
Mm-hmm. We'll agree to disagree on that one as far as that goes. The next one is the border crisis. So Trump had a pretty secure border. I think we can agree on that. Right now, we got a problem. And I think that is directly resulted from Biden's policies.
Yeah, I think it's a creative thing. I don't even think there's a real border crisis at all. So,
are you kidding?
I'm not.
Really?
I think it's just I don't even think there's a border crisis at all. I do not.
So the head of ICE, all these people are just making this up?
I mean, I just don't think there's. Yeah, because that's who they are. That's what they do. They got to be relevant, right? That job goes away. If they said there's no crisis, then what is his job?
So people dropping children over walls and
Well, yeah, there's things going on at the border we don't like, but like this crisis, like there's a million people flooding over our fences or our walls or our border. I don't think it's real at all. I think it's a manufactured crisis and a talking point for the right. That's what I think.
Really?
Really?
You sound like a Trump supporter about a year ago.
I know when I said that, I was like, man, I sound like a Trump supporter.
You really did. No, I 100% think there's a problem. I think there's video documented evidence. I think that the video of these people standing at the border that CNN and all these other people like to show, if anybody's creating that narrative, it's them. There is 100% a problem. Yeah, Trump lowered the number of refugees allowed here. Exactly. I mean, that's the point. You know, you've got to control. This is like you and I've talked about this before, JD.
Right.
There's an issue. You have to stop the bleeding first. So you're hemorrhaging. You got to stop the bleeding. Allowing less refugees in this country, allowing less refugees slows all that down, gives you time to plan and do the things through the judicial system and through that actually need to be done to create a valid pathway to citizenship.
Right. But I just don't think that, man, like most of the people that come over here to work or to come over here to live, they aren't people who are.
That's not what we're talking about. You're changing the subject. Stay on the border crisis, the people that are coming across the border.
Okay, the people who are coming across the border, even those people, Jimmy, are the same exact thing. I'm not changing the subject at all.
No, you were talking about people who are here legally that are here on work visas.
I'm not talking about here legally. I'm talking about either they come across the border at all. You still let me finish my point.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The people who are coming across our border, even illegally, they aren't coming over here to sponge off our government. They're coming over here to work. So it's not like we have some huge number of people who are coming over here and living off the government, man. What we've got are people who come over here looking for a better life and wanting to better themselves and better our nation, man. I think we have to do it the right way, and there has to be steps and there has to be checks and balances. But to act like that, there's just this huge crisis, like I just don't buy it at all.
So all these unaccompanied children, they're filling these facilities up. Then it's a border crisis. That's a crisis at the border. It's not manufactured.
There's things that are problems. There's things that are crises, right? Like my car is leaking a little bit of oil is a problem. My head gasket being blown is a crisis.
Right. And so uncounted numbers of children alone away from their parents brought over by these drug mules and these cartels and all these different things. And there's so many of them. They're keeping them in cages. They are filling up. They don't have any space left in the facilities that they do have. That's not a crisis. This is the one thing that you and I will disagree the most on, because I think that is silly. The fact that you think there is not something bad going on at the border is silly.
I don't think
that is so silly to me.
I didn't say there was something bad going on. I just said there was a problem, and I recognize there's a problem. That's a crisis.
You said it was a manufactured crisis. You said it was manufactured.
I don't think that it's to the level of what people are acting like it is and what it's being blown up to be. I think Biden's actually doing such a good job that they're trying to manufacture things to bitch about. That's
what a joke! Wow. Okay. All right. We'll move on from that one. That's a joke. That's the one thing. On the one thing, the three we agree. The border thing is complete nonsense in my opinion.
Same in my opinion.
And then the record-setting jobs under Trump versus inflation crisis.
Again, inflation crisis. What's the inflation crisis thing? I don't understand.
Dude, you been to Lowe's lately? Oh, people can't build a freaking house. That's inflation.
These companies are making. Is what you're talking about? Because that's just capitalism, baby.
So it's also when it's out of control, it's inflation.
So we need more government regulation on these companies.
Again, changing the subject.
Well,
are prices higher?
Yes. On certain things, yeah.
What is the definition of inflation?
Prices rising.
Correct. Or is it more expensive at the grocery store?
Is it? I don't know.
Yes, it is, 100%.
What causes it, Jimmy Don? What has caused it?
A lot of it has been COVID because they've shut down the supply chains. So there are supply issues.
So it wasn't a Biden issue then?
No, it's 100% a Biden issue
Okay.
because it's a COVID issue.
I agree with you then. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. You should, because this is 100% in my wheelhouse. As far as inflation is concerned, there are supply chain issues created by this fake COVID thing. I'm kidding. But no, there are supply chain issues. And
of course but that's why capitalism works. Supply and demand. Biden didn't get in there and shut off everybody. He inherited an absolute wreck because Trump totally mismanaged the crisis, the COVID crisis.
Again, incorrect.
No, it's not incorrect. That's absolutely correct. That's 100% correct. As a matter of fact, when over 600,000 people die because you didn't take the correct steps as a leader, then I don't know how you can say that's incorrect.
Double that died from cancer last year.
We're talking about
450,000 people die from the flu each year. People die, JD, and they shut the economy down for a year. Right. And they shut the economy down for a year. That wasn't a Trump thing. Trump would have left the economy open.
Who did it then?
The Democrats, dude. Your Democrat ran the Democrat Party, the CDC, the people that control that, the liberal media.
All those are all Democrats. Those people at the CDC, they're Democrats, right? All of them are.
Yeah, pretty much. They're liberal.
Now you're talking about me being silly about the border. That's silliness.
No, but there is 100% inflation right now. Everything is more expensive.
Because people are out doing things and buying things now. That's how the economy works. That's how supply and demand. This is your wheelhouse. You know this. Supply and demand works that way. People are now out moving about. They're getting gas. They're getting wood. Or they're doing things. That causes the prices to go up. Thank God that the prices are going up. Because that means shit's being sold. And the supplies dropping and the demand is high. I'll take that over sitting at the house for another 6 fucking months.
Tell that to the person that's building their house right now that prices doubled and they can no longer afford to build their house, so they're sitting there doing that. Tell the guy who runs a business who has to pay for gas that's not double but more expensive, that's cutting to his bottom line. Tell that to the people who 100%. Look, you can say Joe's saying that they've only been there for 3 months, dude. Yes, they have, and they've done a hell of a bunch of damage when it comes to those things in 3 months.
Now, what damage did they do then?
Dude, it's more expensive. Everything's more expensive. I don't know what
because people are doing things, Jimmy. What do you want them to do? Make people stay home?
People started doing things in the past 15 days. Things were going up. They've just now released some mask mandates and things like that. Prices started going up 3 months ago. As soon as Biden walked in office, dude,
because they knew the economy was going to be saved.
Everything.
Because they knew the economy was going to be saved.
They knew it was going to be saved.
Absolutely, because it was a wreck last year. Absolutely.
Because nobody could work because of COVID.
Because the mismanagement from the top.
So, right now, you're talking about, again, we're kind of coming back to, I know I'm spot on, Don. I can't get him to listen. That's what I'm telling you. The thing is, look, there are a lot of stuff that JD and I will agree on. Like those first 3 issues, I agree with him on those things. But when it comes to the border, and when it comes to the fact that inflation has jumped up, dude, look, it is supply chain issues created by this. Oh, we got to lock it down. We got to shut down. You can't get nobody to go back to work because we're giving out free money to everybody. There's a guy building a house up the road right now that cannot get his house built because nobody will work because the Democrats are giving out free money. It's ridiculous.
Look what they pay a wage, man. It's worth going to work for. If you're making more on unemployment than you are when you're working, then we don't have an unemployment issue. We got people.
Dude, they're paying. Do you know how much money they're paying for unemployment?
I do.
It's insane.
Yeah, I know. So we got to raise the wages and not drop the unemployment. We need to raise the wages where people make a living, not being worked on the ground.
When we get done with this show today, I'm coming over and we're going to do a math class, and I'm going to teach you about. Yeah, it's crazy.
I can add and subtract, bro. I'm fine.
Huh?
I can add and subtract. It's fine.
Oh, I'm not so sure right now. I'm really concerned.
So
ours passed the first 2 stimulus packages. You're right, Joe.
So what happened in the last few months that what did the Democrats do that caused this inflation? Then I'm just concerned. I'm curious.
It is not. It's a continuation of the Democratic policies as it pertains to COVID. The Republicans wanted to open up the economy. They did not want to stay shut down as long as it was shut down. they had to bow and curtail to the leftist policies so that, and it shut these supply chains down.
Okay, so let me get this straight, because I want to make sure I'm with you. The Republicans had the Senate last year, right?
Yes.
And they had the White House last year, right?
Yes.
But they had to appease the Democrats. Is that what you're saying? So Trump,
before COVID, they had record low unemployment.
Sure.
Wages had finally started to rise.
Okay.
That's under Republican government. So under Democratic government, when COVID happened, you didn't have a choice, JD. We sat and argued. You couldn't do anything. Everybody was scared to death. Okay, we got to shut the country down. A lot of these stimulus bills that we're doing are bailing out these Democratic ran states because they won't open back up. Gavin Newsom's going to get ran out of office because of his BS stuff. All that stuff, in effect, comes back to we can't open up. We can't get supplies. We won't allow things in our country from other countries. That affects supply.
Okay.
Demand goes up. We have no supply because we won't allow anything to come into our country. And the Democrats are smothering out right now because they want to, get rid of the mask mandates and all this other BS. So there you go. Prices go up. It is 100% on the Democrats. And Joe, for 4 years, you're right. Trump had it. And you had all those things that I'm talking about. 3 months in, 4 months in, this is how bad it is. I guess the Democrats are fixing the economy.
You're right, Joe. I mean, because nobody could afford to build anything, so the prices stay down. So I guess that's a good thing. Let's move on, man.
All right. So that was it. That was fun. That was fun. We ain't argued in weeks. That was fun.
I feel good to get that out.
It did, didn't it? All right. So let's go to our basket full of topics, JD.
All right.
And let's see what the first topic is. I love it too, Joe Hammond. We haven't argued in weeks.
Different career paths.
You want me to go first, or you want to go first?
Go first. So if you could turn the clock back of time, hand the time, you could choose and you couldn't do the mortgage company. You had absolutely had to do something differently. What would it be?
Of course, I have a good life, right? And I don't know that if I would have went a different career path, I would have Amy and my girls. So I always want to preface it with that. I love my life. I have a really good life. But if I was in college and I was doing it different, knowing what I know now, and this is going to sound crazy, I would have went into hotel management, and I would have managed one of these big hotels in a Caribbean island or somewhere tropical. That's what I would have done. And Rundle, nobody needs that.
You be broke, bro.
Yeah, nobody needs that, Rundle.
I don't know how good you live now, but you would have less money, I promise you.
So what about you?
So I've thought about this in the past, man. And I feel like I would have, that's weird, but I'd probably been a Navy SEAL.
Really?
Yeah, because I came out of high school, I was in that good wrestling shape, and I was, mentally really tough and physically tough. And I used to kick the shit out of a guy over Johnson Central who became a SEAL in wrestling all the time. And I feel like I could have done that. I think I could have done it. And that's probably what I would have done if I went a different way.
That's interesting. No, that's cool because you have the mental capacity for it. You have the physical capacity. That would have been interesting. Those guys are badasses, dude, for sure. Brad's brother he's not a SEAL, but he's in the Navy and he's doing a lot of military stuff. Yeah. You missed a good discussion if you're just now coming on.
Oh yeah,
I call JD silly and everything.
I think it's funny because everybody's like, oh, what is Bud? I don't know. He's got a 63% approval rate, so I don't know. He must be doing something pretty good.
If I controlled the media, I'd have that too.
You're right. I mean, it's all just a big farce to make the Democrats look bad and the Republicans look bad, Jimmy. Or Democrats look good and the Republicans look bad. That's all it is.
You said it. I didn't.
But sarcasm. It was sarcasm.
Yeah. Well, you ain't never spoke more truth on this show.
I wish I could really believe that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyway. All right, but no, that's what I would have done. Because I like the beach. I like tropical. I would have loved to have traveled and done something like that.
Yeah, I could see that, man. Like if you going down there and you like the hospitality thing and you Yeah, I think that would have
I
suited
can
you
do
well,
that,
man.
like I said, and I would, but it's strictly because I would want to live in a foreign land.
Like, where would you go?
I really like the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Like I'd probably go down like the Cayman Islands. That's where Amy and I got married. I love the Cayman Islands. Maybe even somewhere down in Mexico. One of those places on the Caribbean side. I would that would be right up my alley.
Is Cozumel, is that close? Is that a Caribbean thing? Because that's like, for some reason I want to go to Cozumel. I don't know what. I don't even know what's there.
Yeah. Now I've been to Cozumel. Yeah, it's on the Gulf. It's in the Gulf. Yeah.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Pretty cool. You want to do another
What's
one?
up next?
I like this. This is fun.
This is fun. I like this too.
Ooh, one of Jimmy's favorite subjects, college basketball.
Yes.
So, like, what's the deal? We got to recruit. We got to transfer from somewhere. I guess is a big deal.
Tyler Washington just came in. He's like a phenom freshman. Was going to go to Creighton. Cal's basically reinventing how he recruits with the secondary or transfer portal. I think we're kind of loaded up. Like, I'm interested to see what the Cats do this year.
Yeah. I don't really know a whole lot about college basketball. I don't know. I should have put that subject in there, but I knew it'd give you a chance to talk about UK basketball. I own a Gales. I know Trey. I've seen his little Jeep running around with a little I own a Gales on the back. I was like, that's cool. But yeah, I'm a UK fan, but I don't have really anything to add to that.
Well, did you see there were some rumors going around that Coach K may retire?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that basically with, I guess, everything that's going on, there was 2 kids that he was after. One was going to go somewhere else, and then and that ended up happening. He didn't come to Duke. He ended up going somewhere else, and then the other was maybe going to go to the G League, and they said if that happened, K was probably going to retire.
I didn't see this. Put Sean Todd's thing up there.
Oh, yeah, you didn't see that?
Excited. No, that excites me.
Orlando's back, baby.
That's exciting.
And he brought this guy, Chin Coleman, back. That's right, Joe. 100%, buddy. They brought this other guy that Orlando was working with at Illinois, Chin Coleman. Mm-hmm. And so, like, we've got a heck of a 1-2 punch on the recruiting trail now. And like I said, I think it's going to be fun a few years for the Cats.
So, like, I didn't even know Orlando Antigua was back. So that's very exciting for me, man, because I know he was like the big deal for a long time for us. So what happened? Like, they got a head coaching gig somewhere, didn't he, Jimmy?
He got a head coaching job, and he got in a little bit of trouble.
Okay.
It had something to do with some grades, or I don't know, something happened. But anyway, lost that job and ended up, kind of going around. Ended up at Illinois and had one of the best recruiting class. Illinois was actually relevant this year. Had a legit chance to win the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I knew that was, but they made the Final Four, didn't they?
No, they got beat pretty early.
Oh no, they got beat by the
that one team, college.
Yeah.
What was it?
I can't remember who it was.
Sister Jean's team, the Nuns team.
Yeah. I can't remember who it is right now. But
yeah.
Anyway, give him hell, Jimmy. JD needs to change his liberal blindness. So this is funny about Sean. Like, so I was on Facebook one time. Me and Sean was arguing back and forth, and he goes, "You're a sheep. I'm voting straight Republican ticket." Which is, of course, the most sheep thing to say in the world.
That's funny.
But, I'm blind. That's funny.
Sean, I will send you a link. You can come on here right now and argue with me if you want to.
He can't, bro. You don't have the mental capacity for it.
That's funny.
I'm kidding, Sean. You're all right, man. Oh, the Avengers is the next one.
Nice.
So who's your favorite Avenger, man? Do you have a favorite?
Captain America.
Oh, is it the whole patriotic thing, or was
yeah? No, I just like Captain America. There's something about the red, white, and blue, the patriotic part. Just kind of my dad. Like, Superman's my favorite DC character, and Cap has always kind of been my favorite on the Marvel side. Now I'm a big Spider-Man guy too, and the Hulk, but I would have to go Cap all the way. What about you?
Man, it's tougher for me because I really, really enjoyed Iron Man.
Iron Man's good, yeah.
Like, but when I watched Captain America versus Iron Man, I rooted for Captain America. But man, I think as far as character to go, and the best cast type role was definitely Iron Man. So I'm gonna go with him. Like, I didn't expect him to be as cool as he was. Like, I think Robert Downey Jr. was absolutely.
He's 100% Tony Stark.
So yeah, I would think I'm going with Tony Stark and Iron Man. That would be definitely my favorite. But secondly, I don't know, man. I really like the Guardian of the Galaxy guys too, man. Like the was it
Oh yeah,
Rocket?
absolutely.
Like it's weird for me because a lot of these guys I hadn't even heard of.
Oh really?
I didn't know there was a Guardians of the Galaxy, till the Avengers come along and all that.
Yeah,
So,
no, I'm big. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's good. I just picked up. I don't know if it's over there. I was gonna say I just picked up the first appearance of Rocket Raccoon the other day in a comic book. So
yeah. So who was your least favorite Avenger? Like, is there somebody like, I can live without that person? And I'm not talking about the minor characters like, was it the ladies with the antenna? What was her name?
Oh yeah, no, that was the one in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
What was her name? Anyway, I don't know. But as far as like Avengers, my least favorite Avenger, because I like them all.
That's a much harder question, right?
Yeah, because I really do like them all. But if I had to say my least favorite, it can't be Thor. He's the god of thunder. I mean, your name's the god of thunder. Manus. Yes, thank you, Joe. When you're the god of thunder, you're the guy. Iron Man. Good Lord. Here, you tell us who your least favorite is, and I'm going to put this on mute.
Okay. So my least favorite, like, I ain't really giving it much thought because it's tough for me, man. I remember being a kid and I love the Hulk. The only thing about the Hulk is, like, I don't like that he's been done so much. Like, he's been done so many times over and over and over, and I hate that part about him. But as far as the Marvel's Avengers movies go, man, I thought he was really well done. I thought I can't remember the actor's name right now. It escapes me, but I thought he'd done a really awesome job with it. But what's Don Cheadle? Can I pick him? The Don Cheadle character? Is that too minor? Is he too minor?
Yeah. Iron Patriot.
Yeah, I really didn't care much about him, man.
I didn't either. That's probably a good one as far as that goes, Don Cheadle, because I really like Falcon, and if you watch Falcon Winter Soldier, where he becomes Captain America, it was pretty awesome, I ain't gonna lie.
Well, I mean, I got mixed feelings. I didn't care about it, man. I love the show, but I didn't like his costume was terrible.
Really? Oh, I loved it. I think it's awesome.
Mark Ruffalo, yes, that's who played Hulk. But I thought you liked his costume?
Yeah, no, I thought it was sweet, dude. When they revealed him, I thought it was awesome.
No, I did not like it. I was like, that looks cheesy.
I think I liked it because it was 100% the comic book. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, so that's a big difference, yeah. So, yeah. I don't have any affection for that, as I don't know, I don't have that to recall, but I didn't care about that. And I ended up really liking the Winter Soldier, man, in the series as well. So
yeah, and because I love Hawkeye, I love Black. I like them all. I mean, it's hard for me to pick. I like them.
I figured you was going with Hawkeye, really.
Hawkeye is, but I love Hawkeye. He's awesome. Loves his family, his kids. He's just a bad man with a bow.
Right. You ready for another one?
Yeah, man, bring it on. This is fun.
I like doing this. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Joe. I watch it all the time.
So, have you been listening to good podcasts? So I've listened to a couple. And
I haven't listened to much lately.
So I've listened to WTF with Mark Maron, and he actually did an interview with Eddie Murphy. And I'm fascinated with Eddie Murphy. I think he's awesome character, awesome guy, a great comedian. What he did with Raw and Delirious was amazing. And I was always wondered why he stepped away from stand-up comedy. And it's crazy. He said he was afraid he was showing up and people were laughing because of who he was. And he would pause to laugh and people would laugh, and he knew he wasn't even being funny. And so that was on WTF with Mark Maron. What the fuck with Mark Maron? I've listened to a couple more Joe Rogan podcasts. I haven't been listening to many since he's been to Spotify. But he did one with Dan Gable. Do you know who Dan Gable is?
Yeah, I do.
He's the wrestling coach at Iowa for a long, long time. He was a beast of a coach, won a bunch of national titles there, and he's just an amazing guy. Won a gold medal, woke up the next day and ran like 6 miles at 4:30 in the morning, like after winning the gold medal. Like, take a day off, bro.
Yeah, relax.
Yeah. So podcasts, what else have I been listening to? I'm a big fan of Revisionist History with Malcolm Gladwell. I think he's amazing. Smart guy, great book, great author. And Joe's saying Best of the Left. I don't know what that is. It sounds like a liberal thing. I don't know. And Radio Lab. I don't know what that is. So those are some of the podcasts I've been listening to. And you ain't been, well, I know you listen to KSR.
I listen to KSR a lot. I listen to Rogan a little bit here and there. I listened to one he did with Miley Cyrus not too long ago that was a trip.
Yeah.
He had the Undertaker on.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you watch it or not, but on Sunday nights on Biography, or what is the channel? It's Biography. But the last several weeks they've been doing these 2-hour biographies on these professional wrestlers.
Yeah, I watched the Stone Cold Steve Austin one, which was
they had Stone Cold, Roddy Piper, the Undertaker. No, did they do the Undertaker? No, that was on. They also do this thing after. That comes on afterwards is they're trying to find this wrestling memorabilia, and they had the Undertaker and Kane on that, and that was awesome. Booker T was last week, and then Roddy Piper was awesome, and the Macho Man.
So I also listened to Joe Rogan interview Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah,
and he's a really cool guy, man. I think everybody would enjoy that. Like,
I love Dave Chappelle.
Eric, you're right. It's on A&E, the biography stuff. But Dave Chappelle, I think he's a really funny guy, man. And like, he comes off in his interviews, man, like as a real dude, man. And he talks a lot about Eddie Murphy and how he influenced him, and how he's just a really good dude. Marlon Wayne's a really good dude, and like they just come off as real, man. I think so. Joe Rogan podcast, Dave Chappelle, The Undertaker, and Dan Gable, man. If you guys want to check those out, check them out. They're fun.
And I might check that out, Pitchfork Economics, Joe. But if you're so left on here, I don't know if I can listen to it or not. I'm kidding. I listen to the right and the left. I listen to it all day long.
We ain't doing that one.
I mean, you're listening to that one, JD. Pitchfork Economics. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, I was not pulling another one. We'll talk about this. Are you watching anything right now, man? Like, have you been checking out anything on TV? Like on Netflix?
I finished up Invincible last night on Amazon.
Yeah.
You should watch it.
Is it good?
Yeah, it is. It's insane.
Right.
It's a cartoon. Did Barack Obama influence you to be a hard leftist, JD?
No, it's mostly common sense and facts. That's why I did it.
That's funny. I mean, common sense. Well, no, I can't really relate either one of those things to a left-leaning person.
Oh,
or JD, for that matter.
I was like, yeah, I know.
I love it. No, I've been watching Invincible. I just finished it up. I watched Suits. I actually watched a pretty good movie last night, Greenland, with Gerard Butler. It's a comet's hitting the Earth, and then they're basically trying to get his family gets selected to go into a bunker. And then he's trying to get there. I don't know. It's really intense.
Yeah. So I watched Jupiter's Legacy.
Is that good? It's, a lot of guys in the comic book community have been talking about that one.
It's good, man. But like even for comic book stuff type, superhero stuff, it's a little bit much for me. So
you need to watch Invincible.
Yeah.
Like legit watch Invincible. It's insane.
And I finally got to watch Zombieland Double Tap.
Yeah, how was that?
Man, I really liked it. Like I thought it was really good.
I still haven't got to watch that one yet. I'd like to watch it.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. Like I love Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg. I think they're good, man. And so I love Zombieland Double Tap. It was actually better than the first one.
Oh, really?
Which was hard.
I love the first one.
Oh, the second one's actually better, I think. But
oh, cool.
It's just nice.
First one. I like it.
Yeah. So we did movies. So do you have a favorite movie of all time? Like, I think I do, man. I think I actually like Wolf of Wall Street so good. I would say
God, that is a great movie.
I love that movie, man.
Yeah,
and Margot Robbie was gorgeous in that movie, and I thought Leonardo DiCaprio. That was probably the best scene of any movie of all time, in my opinion. Is when he drives to the country club to use the phone. He's like, I got it back without a scratch on it.
Yeah, dude, that is so funny. I mean, like that movie Joe Hammond, it is an animated series, and it's insane. You need to watch it. It's really good. If you like comic book stuff, you should go watch it. It's really good. It's 8 episodes, and it's nuts. Robert Kirkman, guy who did Walking Dead, actually wrote it. And the #1 comic book, it was so low print run when it came out. That comic book's like $30,000 right now. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. So it's like anime, or is it like just animated?
No, it's just animated. It's superhero, but it's animated, and it is gory. It is adult, so don't watch it with your kids.
So it's like the Batman thing they used to do on HBO. That kind of anime,
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Joe, I have another YouTube channel called Small Town Collectibles where I do comic book stuff. So yeah, I'm a total nerd.
But yeah, Wolf of Wall Street.
Outsiders is a good movie.
That was really good. It's a good movie.
No, I like Gladiator. Like I love Gladiator. I also love The Godfather.
Yeah.
Number 2, Godfather 2. Yeah, I have.
So I've heard Jordan Belfort on Theo Vaughn's podcast talking about all the crazy things they did. But I thought the movie, like, it's just a movie. You can't do everything. But I thought they did a really good job of capturing that, the spirit of what was going on at that place. And
no, man, that movie is insane. It really is a great movie, though. It's one of my favorite movies in the world.
That's a big thing for me, man, to say something. Not Tombstone's my favorite movie or Stand By Me.
Tombstone's so good too.
But Wolf of Wall Street, like, is probably that good for me, man.
What was the other one? You said Tombstone. What was the other one?
Stand By Me.
That's a great movie too. Good choice.
I love that movie. Like, or Shawshank Redemption. Like,
Shawshank's great. I watch it every time it comes on. Andy Dufresne.
So Ryan said he's been watching Blacklist on Netflix. It keeps your attention. So I like Blacklist. I watched like the first 3 or 4 seasons of it. But I also watched The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on. Oh my God, Joe Hammond. True Grit is my dude. Have you ever watched True Grit? With John Wayne? So they redid True Grit a few years ago.
Oh no, I watched it.
Oh man, I love that movie. Jeff
Bridges.
The remake was really, really. I think the remake was actually better. Watching Tombstone on now on AMC, you can't go wrong with Tombstone.
No, you can't. That's a great movie. That's so many one-liners from that movie.
Perfect. So, what's your favorite one-liner on Tombstone? We'll wrap this thing up, but I got to know what your favorite one-liner is.
I've got a couple. Like I love "I'm Your Huckleberry" because I'd say that 1,000 times over, and I love it when Billy Bob Thornton is a dealer and he says, "You back at Queen again, you son of a bitch, and I'll blow you straight up that Wildcat's ass."
So I like when Doc Holliday is playing, and Ike are playing poker, and I think Ike accuses him of cheating. He goes, "Why, Ike? Does this mean we aren't friends?" "Well, I don't know if I can do it myself." Or he goes, "Maybe poker's not just not your game." "I know. Let's have a spelling bee."
Yeah, that's so good. There's so many one-liners from that, dude.
I love that.
That is one of the greatest movies ever.
Of course, they might get me in a rush, but not before I turn your head to a canoe.
Yeah, "I'm Your Huckleberry." Say When's great, Sean. That's a good one. Say When.
Yeah.
"Why, Ike, are we cross?"
Yeah. I don't know if I can stand myself.
Yeah, no, that's a great one. When he brings down the thunder, when he's there at the end, he finally takes
I'm bringing hell with me.
Yeah, and he actually says, "Run, you cur," which is nice. Yeah, but that's a dog. Cur is a type of dog, so he was calling him a dog. But yeah, he says, "Run, you cur." You tell him hell's coming. You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me.
Yeah, that's good. Yep, that's it. So Tombstone's always up there, man. But I don't know, man. I thought Wolf of Wall Street is so different than everything else, the way it's done. And also, Natural Born Killers, I think it never gets enough love.
It's a good one, too. It's wickedly weird, but it is great.
Great. Well done. But I don't know, man. You want to draw another one? You were done.
No, I think we're good. We're at 58 minutes, so I think we can wrap it up here. Yeah, guys, we appreciate you watching. That was fun. Like, JD and I haven't argued over a topic in a while, and I told him before we started, I said, this might make a good discussion. Let's just do this. And that was fun. Like I said, JD and I get a little heated, but you can see that we love each other, and we come right back where we're supposed to be when we get done. So,
back to the center, baby.
Right back to the center, man. But no, we appreciate you guys watching, coming hang out with us on a Sunday evening. JD and I, it's our favorite thing to do, and it makes it even better when you guys come hang out with us. So, of course, guys, you know where you can find us: iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, all the places where podcasts can be found. JD's running the social media. Oh, I do actually have, JD, something. And I meant to bring it up earlier. And while we've got some people here, somebody reached out to me about bringing the Kentucky Headhunters to town.
Yeah, I talked to them too.
Did you talk to them too?
Yeah.
We need to have a discussion about that. The people in the chat.
How do y'all feel about it?
Would the Kentucky Headhunters interest you? Because they're pretty expensive. Like, we'd have to sell some serious tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the Kentucky Headhunters.
Things open up, man. I want to come up with somewhere outside to have an event. I really want to come up with outside events place. And
I
I've
feel
got an
like we
idea.
could do something over in Warfield. I feel like there's some place in Warfield where we can make that happen.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I do.
well, I've got an idea on Inez, but you have to holler at me about Warfield because I can't.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, but yeah, I was reached out to about the Kentucky Hunters as well, and with a specific date in mind and all that stuff. But
yeah,
I'm about it. I don't care to put the work in to make it happen, but I want it to be feasible. I don't want to lose. I'm definitely not going to lose money. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. No, and that's the thing. It's quite a bit. They actually are a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
You know, so and there would be a much bigger chance of losing money. I don't know. Would people pay $30 a ticket to come watch the Kentucky Headhunters? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. It's just Kentucky Headhunters. Just been a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, I love Dumas Walker. That's right. But
yeah.
But anyway, all right. So there's that. But anyway, so guys, again, appreciate you watching. Go check us out on all our social media pages. And then JD and I'll be back here next Sunday. So as I always end these things, from myself and from JD, no matter how bad your week's been, no matter how bad your day's going, if you just add bourbon, it always gets a little bit better. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll see you next Sunday.